How's it going, guys? Syphon here, and welcome to a game called Heart of the Woods, the demo version. This is found on Itch.io. Okay, so backstory to this real quick. This is going to be taking place, I believe there's going to be a lot of paranormal stuff going on in this game, and love between two girls, I suppose. This is a visual novel. And this is, I love visual novels, okay? This is just a little like a little one of my your boy's favorite things to do. I love visual novels. Hard to believe, yes, but it's really, I really love it. Like, I played Pokemon, I played a whole lot of visual novels. This one looks really good. It looks top notch so far. The artwork, I love how they look. Like, everything just looks great. So, we're gonna take a journey. I don't know how long this is gonna be, so bear with your boy. It's a demo, so I'm assuming it's not going to do too much. But look how everything is just laid out already. Look at the menus. It's really cool to be in the demo phase. So, without further ado, let's jump into the scene. In this demo, you have the option to enable some adorable chibi guides to bridge the gaps between scenes, provide context, and inform you of the assets that are subject to change. We think they're pretty great, but if you prefer to just play through the scenes themselves, you have the option to keep them off. Now, we could have the chibis. Why not, right? It adds immersion to the game. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Enable the chibi guides. Okay, there we go. Hey, it's me, Tara, or rather, a cutesy, significantly more marketable version of Tara. And with me, as always, is my equally marketable co-host, Maddie. Thanks for the compliment. I'm touched. We're going to be your guides as you play through the demo. Given the scenes you're going to see, jump around a bit chronologically. We're going to provide some context to help make sure you have the best possible experience without spoiling the entire game for you. Also, if the devs don't have an asset done or something like that, we're going to tell you in advance. So we aren't worrying why one of us is wearing an outfit we shouldn't be. Speaking of which, this scene takes place in our apartment. Why are you wearing a huge winter coat? For someone who gets her hair done at a salon but insists on cutting it in the bathroom herself in order to ensure that she has complete control over her own unique style, I don't think you have any right to lecture me about fashion. Holy shit, Maddie is a bad bitch. She has, like, the way she described her. Besides, this scene is going to be in the final game. This isn't going to be in the final game, sorry. It will be a real waste of space to allocate time and resources to something that's only going to be in the demo. Don't you think? Oh. Hold on. Why are they looking at me like that? Is this some scary shit gonna go on? Okay, there we go. Oh my god, she's pretty. So next up, we've got Bigfoot Forever who asks, are you single? I roll my eyes. We always get fewer comments like this when we do a live stream. They never seem to bother Tara, though. Yes, but only because I'm saving myself for Nessie. Next. As she looks at the next question, her eyes widen and her mouth spur turns upward into a worryingly smug grin. Look at the art. Let's take a moment to appreciate the art. This is really freaking good. It is good. It is really good. Like, I could say that so many times. Our next question comes from a dang good coffee who asks, is Maddie single? Oh no. As she turns off frame to look at me, I instantly raise my hands in protest. Tara, don't. Ooh. Before I can finish my sentence, she leaps from her chair and grabs my arm, pulling me towards her and nearly knocking the camera over in the process. I guess I'm Tara, and my character is Tara. Like, whoever I'm, like, so far Tara's mind or whatever. I think we're in her. I don't know if it was Maddie or her, but I believe it's her because she's just said in the third form, she leaps from her chair and grabs my arm. So, that's Tara. Alright, so we're Tara, I guess. As the shock starts to wear off, I struggle to get away. It's no use. Her vice-like grip is impossible to escape from. Hey, you think someone this cute would have a girlfriend by now? Tara, I swear to God. I continue to fight in vain to escape, but she's locked in. But she's available, ladies. You still got a chance. I'll pass any love-filled confessions on to her, I promise. Please don't do that. Her bit finished, she let me go and I retreat to my chair. She knows I hate being— oh no, we're Maddie. Okay, she knows I hate being on camera. But I suppose it can't be helped when she's in the zone. Nothing can stop her. It's impressive in its own right. Let's see. Clown Princess 20 asks, what is your favorite West Coast cryptid? The Fresno Nightcrawler. It's just pants. It's just walking pants. I love it. Hang on, I'm posting a link to my video on it. Take this opportunity to educate yourselves on what's really important in life. Looking at the clock, I motioned for her to wrap it up. Like this. We still haven't gotten to trip details. Okay, looks like we got time for one more. Fun Assassin says, Tara, what's the gayest cryptid? Her mouth widening into her trademark grin, she jabs her thumbs towards herself before poking 2 fingers out at the camera. Me, obviously. Watching the chat on my phone, I can't help smiling as I see the feed flooded with hearts and tiny rainbow flags. She always knew how to finish strong. That's pretty fucking cool. Once the chat starts to calm down, she puts on a mock serious face, pursing her lips and furrowing her brow slightly. If I'm being honest, that's probably the closest to actually being serious she could ever possibly get. Now then. The reason I've called you all here today is to give you a few details about mine and Maddie's upcoming trip to... She looks at me for help. I don't even know why we bothered rehearsing details. She doesn't even know her parts. Eisenfeld. I give her an absent-minded thumbs up. Not looking up from my phone. Someone has to handle the actual logistics of this thing. Obviously, this isn't our first supernatural expedition. I'm sure you all remember our incredibly thrilling Mothman hunt. You mean running west, Virginia, in the dark and nearly getting arrested for trespassing without finding a shred of evidence? I wouldn't say we didn't find any evidence. I just think it's impossible to verify whether or not what we found was conclusive proof, if not any way. The reason this trip was a little different is because we're going to be gone for a while. Our host, Morgan, shout out to you if you're watching this, Morgan, was kind enough to offer us an extended stay in the area to make sure we take every last bit of the magic the forest has to offer. The reminder of the time commitment fills me with a wave of regret. I should have put my foot down harder when I said I didn't want to go. Taking a week-long trip here and there is one thing, but to uproot and move to some cabin in the middle of the freezing wilderness is a big ask, even for her. But I suppose given the circumstances, this should at least soften the blow. The other big difference for this trip is, and I hope you're all bracing yourselves, we won't be uploading videos until we get back. I watch her try not to smile as cry emojis fill the chat. Nothing more validating than knowing people are going to miss you when you're gone, I guess, while you're gone. But I promise, we're going to bring back something that'll be worth the wait. As she launches into an in-depth history of supernatural forest phenomena, I start to tune out. I've got so much more immediate problems to think about, namely how the hell I'm going to keep Tara in check during this trip. The last thing I need for her to cause while we're stuck in the middle of the woods. The train comes once a month, meaning if things go south, that could lead to a week of headaches and awkwardness or worse. It would be so much easier to let her go off on her own, let her clean up her own mess. I'd give just about anything to stay back here, even if it would be significantly more boring without her around. But cleaning up her mess is basically my job description. For now, anyway. No Sasquatch sightings are typically reported in more mountainous areas, but I'll keep my eye out for one. Oh, one last thing, and this is very important. While I'm gone, just remember that I seriously do love each and every one of you. None of this world would be possible without all of you, and not being able to have you all be a part of my life for a whole month is going to be as hard as for me as it is for you. Another flood of heart and pride flags, holy shit. I can't help being a little jealous of the fact that she could say things like that and actually mean it. I can't imagine being that invested in something like this. Even if she's probably overestimating how important she might be in these people's eyes, I'm sure it means something to them. Just another reason for me to feel guilty about what I'm about to do. I'm thankful that I don't mean as much as them as she does, or this would be even harder. So until I return, stay spooky, everyone! She waits for one last burst of her reverent comments before ending the stream. The responses are probably exactly what she was hoping for. We love you, Tara! We love you, Tara! Go! Fucking shit. Please don't go, Tat! So cute! No wonder her ego is as massive as it is. Much as I hate to admit it, I'm sure I'd be the same way. She flicks the camera off and leaps from her chair, clearly still filled with energy. Okay, let's get ready for this thing! What do you mean? Well, for starters, I need to start packing. You haven't started packing yet? We leave on Monday. Oh yeah. You're right. I can pack then. Pack now. Fine. Her burst of energy now effectively redirected. She starts dashing around the room, randomly grabbing clothes off the floor. Look how she's like fucking... I love that. That's really fucking cool. Grabbing the clothes off the floor and throwing them into a suitcase. I need to stop letting her leave her laundry in my room. Do you know where my meds are? That's one of the things you really shouldn't ask me. You know that's kind of important. Do you, though? I let out alongside and rub my templates. I guarantee that Tara-induced headaches are going to be the death of me. They're downstairs in the kitchen on the counter. You're the best manager ever. The words hit me like a slap across my face, my stomach knotting with guilt. I still haven't told her that I'm quitting after this. Ooh. I kept meaning to, really, but I just know she's not going to understand. She's going to take it personally. There's no way I can tell her I'm quitting without her thinking there was something she could have done to stop it. I can't just wait until we're ready to get out of here to tell her this. It's going to be the last thing I can do with her. I have to do it beforehand. I should just do it now. Get it over with. Tell her it's about school. Not tell her I'm conflicted about the whole thing and it's not something I'm taking lightly. Tell her I just need to move forward with my life. Not that any of it would make a difference. Hey, Matt. Huh? Are you okay? You kind of just spaced out for a minute there. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. Just thinking about the trip. You and me both. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. I'm sure it will. With that, she's off again, nearly vibrating with excitement as she tears through the room apart, grabbing all sorts of random items that are apparently extremely necessary for the trip. I can only imagine what she's going to do in her own room. Oh, okay. I can't tell her now. I don't want to ruin this moment for her. Tonight, maybe. Or tomorrow. I just hope that at least a part of her understands. Ooh. Chapter 1. Shit! That was the prelude. We getting into Chapter 1? Fuck! Okay. I'm ready. A winter wonderland. That's how the place was pitched to us, out in the middle of a forest with an unapproachable name in a village that time forgot. In the email, it sounded like every other ghost hunter's paradise that we get messages about. Isolated and antiquated, with a tourism board encouraging hotkeys, effects, and gaudy billboards. The vast majority of those emails go unanswered. If Tara weren't so capricious, this one probably would have too. But no, something about journeying to the middle of nowhere for a month struck her. Fancy, and like always, I let myself get dragged into it. So here I am, for the last time. Ooh, that's really good. The train beats out slow, monotonous rhythm beneath us. It's an older machine, the sorts that look like it's supposed to take us to a wizarding school, or that should be in a museum. When I bought the tickets, I thought we'd be getting on something like Amtrak. Oops. I shifted my seat, the tattered cushion and wooden boards doing little to soothe the pain in my back. We've been on this train for 12 hours, and I can feel every one of them in my bones. Tara's been out for past 6. Upright, but fall asleep. Fast asleep. If the bumpy ride bothers her, she doesn't know the show of it. The paperback she was reading dangles in her hand, in danger of losing her spot in the book. I scuff my feet across the floor, kicking at nothing, as tired as I am. I'm afraid for our journey to end, for Tara to wake up, to have to talk to her. Dude, this fucking soundtrack is the bomb. Dev, I see you. Oh my God. I'm almost afraid that she can sleep. She shouldn't be as preoccupied as I am, fighting off intrusive thoughts and wondering what to say. You wouldn't know from looking at her that we've barely spoken for 3 days. That's how long I told her that this would be our last trip for the show together, and that I was quitting once we got back home. Everything since then, packing, booking our tickets, finding something and someone to take care of the cat while we're gone, happened in a blur. We've been cordial, but that's it. My heart hurts, but it tells me I made the right decision. Yawning, I lean back against my seat and pretend it's comfortable. The cushions are unnoticeable, nearly as firm as the wooden floor beneath us. A heater in the corner hems and haws like an old man, but it's not nearly powerful enough to fight off the chill. I desperately wish that I could sleep, too. But one of us needs to be awake when we get to the station, and that should be any minute now. Plus, I've never been able to fall asleep on planes or trains anyway. My eyes are sore, and I rub one of them as I press my cheek to the cold window. Outside, it may as well be another world compared to the city we left behind. If not for the moonlight, I wouldn't be able to see anything, but the soft, white glow make the snow and nearby forest glisten like it's under some sorcerer's spell. A winter wonderland. The trees are all bare, save for the blanket of snow that covers them. Their empty branches look like something out of a kid's Halloween movie, shaking in the wind as if possessed. They seem to stretch on forever, farther than I can even see. It's more like an ocean than a forest. Morgan certainly wasn't exaggerating when she said this place was remote. Intermittent lights flickering amongst the trees in the distant darkness, which I assume come from either winter campers or hermits. I'd call them crazy, but I'm about to be doing the exact same thing. Something catches my eye. Way out in the woods, one of the trees, barely visible, seems to shake in a different way than the rest, as if blown by a different breeze. A thin layer of frost is beginning to form on the outside of the window as I push my face against it, turning to find whatever it was I saw. It's gone, though. It was almost certainly never even there to begin with. Either my eyes were playing tricks on me, or the moonlight was. I sigh and slip back again, allowing my eyes to barely close. I won't fall asleep. I'm jostled back into alertness as the train launches harder than before. Ooh, shit. Oh my god. There's a shrill, whistling sound, and then the shudders of the train grow stronger as we begin to slow down. The driver hits the brakes. We're almost there. Across from me, Tara is undisturbed. Somehow she still hasn't dropped her book. Apparently she's less clumsy when she's asleep. Through the frosted window, I can see the light of what must be the Eisenfeld as we approach the station. They're few and far between, like scattered stars. The buildings appear to be placed sporadically, nestled on and around a hill. As a round on a bend, the village goes out of sight once more. I can't really put this off any longer. I lean over and shake Tara's shoulder. Oh. Hey, wake up. We're almost there. Without opening her eyes, Tara mumbles a response. How close is almost? Seriously? I don't know, a couple minutes? Okay, I'm getting up. She isn't getting up. I mean it. If you sleep through the stop, we're going to... I'm up, Mads. She finally opens her eyes. I cut off my sentence, not sure if I was serious or not. We're not even there yet, and we're already snappy. God, I wish I could sleep. Just a little longer, I tell myself. You excited? A little bit. Lie. You? Kinda nervous still. What is there to be nervous about? We've done this 1,000 times. Yeah, well, this isn't like those other 1,000 times. And you know that. She shrugs again, not meeting my eyes. I don't know, Maddie. I'm sorry. Let's chill. Yeah, sorry. We lapse into silence, at least when she's asleep. It wasn't awkward. I just want off this train. I want to be distracted by going to the cabin and taking in the new sights. My question is, did she already tell her? I think she kind of did. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think she did. I didn't quite get it. But she might have already told her, so that's why they're kind of distant with each other. At least I think. Or maybe it's just the nervousness and, you know, thrill of going out here probably has turned them both off in a way. But we'll see. Any minute now. Hey, listen. Yeah? I know you're, like, not super thrilled to be here. She pauses, like hoping for me to disagree. I don't. But let's just be cool, okay? Let's just try and have a good time. I breathe a deep sigh and let it out slowly. She's right. I'm committed to this trip. I can at least make it easy on myself. Yeah, okay. Sorry for getting bitchy. I'm tired. I feel you. Hey, how do I look? Like you just slept for 6 hours on a train. That bad, huh? She messes with her hair in some attempt to improve its state. The results are unnoticeable at best. Hopefully it's good enough for Morgan. Ugh. Fisher? Morgan Fisher. If she's meeting her online hero or whatever, then I doubt she'll care that your hair is a mess. God, I hope not. I don't want to end up some fashion fall pass vid. For real though, if she's super fangirly, then let's just let her get it out of her system, and hopefully she won't make things weird later. Making things weird later is kind of our specialty though. Yeah, true. But hey, it got us to 250,000 subs, so like, we have to have been doing something right. I just nod. I still can't help but fixate on how everything she says is past tense. It's over after this. It's fully my decision. All I have to do is say the words, and things will go back to normal. I doubt Tara would ever bring it up again if I asked her not to. I'd be so easy. It'd be so easy. Ooh. Snow. Shit, we're almost here, y'all. We're at Eisenfeld. Shit, that's a cool fucking name. Heart of the Woods. Please don't end here. Don't play with me. Okay, it didn't end. Okay. Whew. I believe those little icons to the far right are probably things like you can skip and fast forward or save. We step off the train and into another world. Ooh. A frigid wind saps the heat from my body almost immediately, as if it had been waiting until we arrived to pelt us until our skin felt like it was burning. I instinctively wrap my arms around myself to try to preserve what little body heat I have left, but it doesn't change a thing. I might as well not even be wearing a coat for all the good mine does. As nice it is to have the moon keeping things from being completely pitch black, I could really go for some cloud cover right about now. Anything to keep some warmth around us. Of course, Tara doesn't even seem to notice. If anything, this place is having the opposite effect on her. It's like she's completely forgotten the uncomfortable energy that had filled the train. back to her usual overexcited self. I can't help feeling jealous. I figured that the low light would keep her from breaking out the camera right away, but she's snapping away without a care. You know none of those are actually going to be visible, right? She ignores me. I should probably just let her enjoy the moment. This place really does feel super eerie. I really think this could be a place where we finally get some real hard evidence. While her words are as ambitious as ever, I can't help noticing that they seem to have significantly less fire behind them. I'm not even sure if she knows she's doing it, but I can tell that her enthusiasm is forced. When she speaks again, her voice is worryingly quiet. I can't imagine a better send-off. Oh yeah, she was told. They already discussed that, I guess, that this is going to be the last time doing shit. That's pretty sad, y'all. I'm pretty upset about that. I want to try and deflect somehow to set her back on her path. She deserves to enjoy this moment without me spoiling it. Who knows? Maybe this will be that one that finally gets you a con panel so you don't have to crash someone else's. That was one time, and I think I did a pretty good job up there. Her voice seems to have regained some of that boundless energy. Either she's bounced back well or she's gotten better at hiding how she's feeling. I really hope it's the former. She returns to her camera, and I give myself a moment to try and take in my surroundings. Ooh, snow. It's something about snow, y'all. It's fucking gorgeous. Using the flashlight on my phone, I try to figure out what it is about the darkness that has her so excited. Seeing nothing but the light reflecting off the snow puts me more at ease. She's probably just being Tara. Supernatural or not, there's something oddly serene about this place. That said, I liked it a lot more if it wasn't so damn cold. I can't wait to see the village tomorrow. I bet it's gonna be like one of those animatronic museum exhibits. It's not that they don't have any connection to the outside world. Apart from the architectural style, I can't imagine that it'll be that different from home. If you're expecting people to walk around in top hats and waistcoats, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be disappointed. And here I thought I'd finally get you to show off how amazing I'd look in a top hat. I'm sure you'd be the teen heartthrob of the Victorian era. She gives me a brief snort of amusement before packing up her camera again. Her responses still feel more muted than usual, but the fact that she's still able to banter is a good sign. I'm glad that I still know how to cheer her up, even if I was the cause of her low mood in the first place. However, after a moment, she looks back at me. Her expression is serious for once. Okay, so about Morgan. Like I said before, let's give her a chance to get all the excitement out of the way first. We should be nice and friendly, but let's try to keep it professional. I never thought I'd hear you, of all people, say that. I find myself flashing back to all the various situations I've had to extricate Tara from, ranging from bad one-night stands to actual police custody. There are a lot of ways I could describe Tara, but professional is definitely not one of them. She can barely keep up her serious demeanor for a few moments before she's back to her usual self. Look, she's bouncing. You can see that, y'all? She was bouncing. She can play it cool all she wants, but I can tell from the way she's bouncing up and down that she's undeniably excited for this fangirling she mentioned. I'm sure a little ego boost will go a long way right about now. I can feel myself hopping back and forth slightly as well, but that's more out of a desire to keep my blood flowing. In the end, I couldn't say no to one final expedition with her, but I really wish she'd pick somewhere at least somewhat hospitable. Thankfully, it isn't too long before I can see the silhouette of someone approaching through the storm. What if it's not her? I think that's her. Brace yourself. Given that we're the only people out here, I certainly hope that's her. Ooh, Morgan herself is coming to... She is gorgeous. It's something about that brownish orange hair with those green eyes. She's not exactly an imposing figure, but she moves with purpose, like a woman on a mission. She's carrying a large thermos, which she raises in greeting as she approaches. One of the first things I notice about her is, for some ungodly reason, she's not wearing a coat. All she's got on to protect her from the frigid weather is what looks like a hand-knit sweater. I'm sure to a casual observer I seem like the one who's actually from around here. However, she doesn't so much as shiver. In fact, she doesn't do much of anything. On approach, she greets us with nothing more than a tired smile and a small nod. Not exactly the geeking out Tara was expecting. Hey there, you two. Sorry I'm late. Her voice is friendly but flat. She doesn't sound irritated or anything, just tired. I can't say I blame her. Tara, however, looks like a bit taken back. Recovering quickly, she puts on her big celebrity grin. Oh, no worries. We're looking for Morgan. Is she with you? That's me, actually. It's really nice to meet you, Tara. Morgan's smile doesn't seem to grow warmer as she greets her, but her face quickly regains a neutral expression a moment later. I can see Tara's smiling faltering as she realizes that this is clearly the maximum amount of geeking out this girl is capable of, at least for now. To her credit, she recovers as well. Likewise, charmed, I'm sure. Okay, maybe not that well. Tara extends her hand and Morgan gives her a brief handshake before turning to me. You're Madison, right? I think we spoke already. Just Maddie is fine. Nice to meet you. She shakes my hand as well. It's firm, friendly handshake that ends as quickly as it began. Before she continues, she takes another sip from her thermos. I have to stop myself from asking for some as well. Not even Tara would be that brash. It really is nice to meet the two of you. I'm sure you have a lot of invitations, so I'm glad you settled on mine. Are you kidding? Remote village in the middle of a huge forest? There's no way I'd pass that up. I've even heard all kinds of stories about the kinds of things people see in the woods like these. Hopefully not too many, or I would not have any of my own to offer you. Oh, I'm sure you've got something or other for us. Real smooth, Tara. So much for being professional. I could see Morgan's mouth twitch slightly at the comment. I can only hope it was something closer to a smile than a grimace. At the very least, I can show you around the village. There isn't too much of the ordinary there, but I'm sure you can find a few things that interest you. That would be wonderful. I'm glad we would enjoy a bit of sightseeing during the few moments when Tara isn't off chasing spirits around the woods. Morgan lets out a small chuckle before I almost instantly regaining her composure. Tara flashes me back to a look of a mock annoyance for the slight. However, I'm pretty sure I could detect a little bit of real annoyance with the fact that I've gotten more of a reaction out of Morgan than she has. It's about a half-hour's carriage ride to the cabin. If you guys were to head out, do you need help with your bags at all? Tara definitely lifts her bags, giving Morgan another shiny grin. I'm sure I see her accidentally flex her arms too. Shh, don't even worry about it. I got this. Okay, cool. This way. As we follow her, I see Tara pouting behind her. I've never seen the wind get taken out of her sails like that. I chuckle a bit despite myself. At least that's given her another thing to think about that isn't my departure. I'm calling it now. That girl's a ghosty goo. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, this game has paranormal written all over it thus far. That girl's a ghost, and I'm calling it now. Wait a second. Did she say carriage? No! Wait! We're standing in front of an honest-to-God horse-drawn carriage. If it weren't for the little white puffs of breath coming from the horse's nose, I'd be willing to believe that it was some sort of commemorative statue. This is so cool! Is it yours? It belongs to my family. Given that there aren't any roads through the forest, there isn't really a point in anyone out here owning a car. I move closer, examining the craftsmanship at best. I can in the moonlight. The design is fairly bare-boned, but a few flourishes here and there, and some semi-ordinate painted finishes make it clear that this is something built with love and care. Suddenly, I realize that I'm not hearing any exclamations of excitement from Tara. I figure she'd be touching every square inch of this thing. Tara, come look at it. As I speak, I look back and see her standing completely still, as if the cold has her rooted to the spot. Ooh. Give me a sec. I'm just taking in the view a bit. She's trying to act nonchalant, but her wide expression keeps flickering towards the horses. Her previous genuine grin has turned into a very nervous grimace. Slowly inching forward, she scoots further away from the horses as she approaches the carriage. I doubt she's planned for this part of her first impression to be Morgan learning that she's absolutely terrified of horses. She has better at least learn to tolerate them, or this is going to be an even longer trip than I expected. Wait. If this is the only way through the woods, how are we going to get back and forth between the cabin and the village? Neither of us can drive a carriage, and I can imagine your family doesn't want us holding on to theirs. Oh, I'm going to be driving you. I can take you back and forth between the two, and helping you navigate the woods. You didn't expect me just to let you wander around a forest in the middle of nowhere without a guide, did you? Tara slowly is making her way towards the carriage. Does her best to give me a look of excitement. If anything, it resembles a look of a panicked hostage. The fact that she's still trying to play it cool is almost admirable in its futility. You sure that's not any trouble? I'd hate to inconvenience you any more than we already have. It's no trouble. I run my own shop, so my schedule is pretty flexible. I'm more than happy to help. She looks over at Tara, who's finally made it within a few feet of the carriage. She shoots us both a thumbs up. I have a feeling she might need it. Trust me, you have no idea. Morgan turns and deftly swings up into her seat, taking a hold of the reins. Tara finally manages to place her hands in the carriage and climb up to sit alongside her, shaking all the way. I let out a sigh of relief and follow suit, mounting up next to her. It's a little cramped up here, but I feel weird just sitting by myself. Besides, not keeping an eye on Tara is a pretty guaranteed way to make an even worse first expression. So, can you do any tricks in this thing? The path to the cabin turns out to be a complicated one. We've been making twists and turns through the trees for a few minutes, but Morgan seems to know exactly where she's going. Not even the dark can stand in her way. You can navigate through all this with just that little lantern. How can you see landmarks? Don't worry, I know these woods better than just about anything. Besides, the moonlight is more than enough for me. I can't help but feel embarrassed. I think about all the times I had to use the flashlights on my phone just to find something I dropped in the car. That definitely wouldn't last out here. Looking over, I can see that Tara's anxious to start asking Morgan a very long list of questions about the woods. After that flawed introduction, she's clearly a little less gung-ho than usual, but I know that won't stop her. As such, I probably should be getting my handling of the actual adult stuff out of the way quickly before it gets lost in the noise. So, the cabin we're going to be staying at, what's the situation as far as murder and amenities go? Don't worry, there's nothing too primitive. My family owns it, so they've kept it up, but we don't really use it anymore. It's got running water, heat, electricity, the works. Internet too, at least when the weather's feeling cooperative. I should warn you right now that you're not going to have much luck with your cell phones. Reception out here is pretty much non-existent. There is a landline in the cabin though, and I'll leave my number so you can reach me in case of an emergency. That's perfect, thanks. Thank God, I was terrified that we might have been walking into some sort of dilapidated death trap. So while we're on our way, could you tell us about some of the specific supernatural occurrences you've seen out here so far? I gently elbow her on the stomach in a gesture that I hope effectively communicates, let me talk about the actual important stuff first. However, Morgan doesn't as much flinch as the question. If anything, she actually seems a little excited to talk about it. Her eyes seem to lose a bit of their constant drowsiness, and she sits up perfectly straight. She's been waiting for this. Well, we have a lot of freak weather events, strange storms that appear and disappear, or are localized to certain parts of the forest in ways that shouldn't be possible. Tara nods pensively, ready to start pressing for details. I realize my questions are going to have to wait, so I decided to just let the two of them run their course. Sometimes when I walk in the woods, I can see strange lights here and there, like tiny little stars inside the forest. I've never been able to get close to them though. I raise an eyebrow, but don't say anything. We've had countless cases of strange lights, before all of which have ended with a rational explanation. That doesn't seem to damper Tara's spirits though. I can feel myself starting to drift. The steady, mild bumping sensation of the carriage, combined with the exhaustion of the journey, threatening to make me fall asleep right here and now. I'm sure they could wake me up when we get there. There's also my cat. Your cat is a supernatural occurrence? She can talk, so I'd say so. Her words snap me out of my trance. Looking over at her, I expect to see her holding in a laugh or sporting some kind of mischievous grin. But her face is as serious as this business with. Holy fuck! We're not having a Sailor Moon thing going on in this bitch. What the hell? Y'all? Seriously? Your cat can talk? Like, talk the way a human does? Yes, she's very well spoken, in fact. I try to hide a sigh. I should have known she was going to be one of those fans. Some people who invite us out tend to be a little strange. It's happened plenty of times, and while this meeting is definitely more unique than any previous one, I'm not too shocked by it. Tara, however, instantly perks up once her words sink in. She can actually believe her. Right? She can't actually believe her, right? So can we talk to her? She won't mind if I ask her a few questions, right? Well, usually she only talks to me, but I can try to convince her. The whole thing is clearly some kind of joke, but Tara is absolutely taken in. I can practically see the wheels turning in his head as she plans to follow up questions. That's never good. So, do you have any ideas about what we could be causing it? Something in her diet, maybe? I don't think have you been feeding her some kind of special Eisenfeld cat food? Can I try some? Okay, I think that's enough of that. When Tara starts talking about eating cat food, it's time for me to exercise a little diplomacy and move the conversation forward. Crazy or not, I think we should move on. So what kind of things does she talk to you about? Just about our lives, for the most part. I figured you'd better off hearing it from her rather than me. I'm sure that'll be illuminating. I'd say, if there's something that paranormal in the village itself, you must have seen way crazier stuff in these woods. She starts to gesture as she talks, pointing back and forward towards the village and swinging her arms around as she mentioned the woods. Morgan hitting her with something concrete has definitely put her back in her element. In a way, I suppose it has for me too. I couldn't get a read on her when we arrived, and now that I know she's probably crazy, I can at least know that what we're dealing with. Well, there's one pretty major thing, but you probably won't believe me. I wouldn't have come out here if I didn't believe you. Anything you have to say, I want to hear. I can't detect a hint of cynicism in her voice. Either she's really believed this girl she just met has been talking to a cat, or she's giving a performance worthy of an Oscar. Are you sure? 110%. Lay it on me. She winks at her and flashes her finger guns back in celebrity mode. Tara's good at recovery with these things, but I've never seen her recover on this level with such speed. But as I watch her leaning towards Morgan and make sure she catches her next statement, I realize another possible reason for her passionate response. If there's one thing she loves more than hearing strange stories, it's trying to impress a cute girl. Now things are starting to fall into place a bit more. Well, one of the main reasons I called you out here is, I'm not sure if it has a name, but I think there's some kind of forest spirit. Spirit? Like a ghost or something? No, something physical. Some sort of massive creature, like the forest came to life. Okay, this is new. Even the crazier fans don't get this outlandish. But Tara's absolutely eating it up. No matter what her reasoning is, I'm glad she's having a good time. It means I can stay out of the conversation. It's a lot harder to pretend to believe things when I'm this tired. Is there anything else you can tell me about it? Does it speak or anything? Have you managed to interact with it at all? Is it more kaiju sized or more basketball player sized? I've only seen it once, unfortunately, so I don't know much about it. I've searched for it a number of times since, but without any results. Who knows, maybe you two will have better luck than I have. And that's what you're best at, isn't it? In terms of talents, I'd say it's certainly up there. Morgan's smile turns up into a small, but seemingly genuine smile, and her expression grows slightly less intimidating. I need you to believe me. Nobody else around here does. I can't imagine why. I feel a pang of guilt as that thought crosses my mind. As crazy as her story sounds, it can't possibly be easily feeling rejected in a community that this isolated. No wonder she's been so eager to bring it up into the fold. So, how far away would you say we are from the cabin? We should be coming up any minute now. I hope the two of you get situated and then head back. I'll be happy to tell you more about the spirit tomorrow. Thank God. Oh yeah, great. That's great. I'm exhausted. That much isn't a lie. All I want to do right now is pass out. With any luck, I'll wake up and find out that this whole thing was just a bad dream. It won't be. Shit, it's serious stuff. Oh, I guess we're back to guide you through a time skip. And here I thought we decided we weren't going to make this game about time travel. Well, given that we were never previewed it back when it was about time travel in the first place, I'm sure that joke isn't going to be as funny to anyone except our writers. This scene takes place a little further on the game, after we've beaten an Eisenfeld for a few days. Unsurprisingly, we haven't had much luck. The only thing out of the ordinary we've encountered so far is our host. She's arranged for us to meet in her woods near the cabin. I'm about 80% sure we're going to get murdered. You're way too harsh, Mads. I think Morgana's pretty neat. A little weird, sure, but she seems like her heart's in the right place. That's suspiciously sincere of you to say. Not to mention the fact she's super hot! I knew it. Despite very clear warnings from other villagers that Morgan is dangerous, Tara is determined to meet her anyway. I'm going too. Ooh, warnings from villagers saying that Morgan is dangerous? But I'm not happy about it. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna end it here. I've been recording for a bit now. Y'all, for the demo, this is pretty fucking great. I'm definitely gonna probably do a second gameplay, so please look out for that. This game, holy shit. This game is fucking sick. Heart of the Woods. If you guys want to try it out and you show the thumbs up, I'll leave a link in the description. People think Morgana is dangerous. That's freaking nuts. So the villagers think she's crazy. Either that or Morgan is the spirit. I keep trying to freaking find an ending or a hypothesis for myself, and I know I'm probably wrong. But I just feel like it's just so strange how she's not even dressed as like everybody else, and everyone is calling her dangerous. But maybe they just don't understand her. That's why she called out to them. So look forward to the second gameplay, y'all. This one's going to be a little long, so I hope you guys can bear with your boy, and I hope you guys enjoyed it at least. It was really fun to me. I enjoyed it. I love these kind of story-driven games. It really gets to me. I don't know how long this demo is, so the second one might be a little shorter or a little longer, varying. So stay tuned to that. And I will see all of you guys in the next gameplay. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new, subscribe so you have more quality content, as well as leave a like to show me how much you love this shit today. You guys have a damn good one. Siphon, log it out.